also would be to, for anybody who's involved with like investment groups and stuff like that, be able to act as smart money, in terms of that, because smart money tends to help along with things like employment and placement and stuff like that. So you can say, look, we've got some poorly engineers, so do act as a quasi-matching service in addition to doing the training. Wow. So there are a couple, there are a couple of things.
Great ideas.
Yeah, we're sort of tossing around out there. So hopefully, if you have some, we'd like to get some FaceTime with everybody and see if it's like, hey, that might be someone who may be working with.
In general, I mean, the idea that you're something a little bit more structured. This sounds great because it's been really good to come.
Yeah.
I've come to these before, but not to all of them. But if you get their lessons are kind of disjointed.
Yeah.
And and you're learning something, but it's always good to have some this talking to someone else and say, well, why don't we try to build something?
Yeah.
There's one guy, Daniel Keith, he has a really good book.
I know the name, but I mean his name, but what's his book? Go ahead.
Yeah, so he's got some instructions online on how to trouble solving Rails, and he made this Mac Maverick something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just upgraded to Macs, and now I'm like, oh shucks, I'm having issues. So
right.
Daniel, I used this white paper, or what is this? And then I come to the class here, and he's sitting in class. And
it's great.
He says, well, I have. It goes through this, like before you even get to the little Rails, it goes through development and plan, and then learning that I always have trouble with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was at least one note in the talk that I gave, basically, because I was a troubled Rails learner, and so it's like, these are Rails blockers, actually. It's like a kid is Rails, it's like learning Rails, and learning the right process you want to do. Hey, we're actually clear. Did you want to start?
No, we should go.
Personal class doing this. I figured
in a few minutes.
For so long, right? That you want to catch them right at the beginning, right? And just like, people are agile developers. So it's like one of the major books is like agile web development using Ruby on Rails, right? So it's like you're going to be agile from the beginning. We're going to teach you Git and good deployment practice-driven development from the beginning. Like you stack all this stuff on top of it, and then you get to something like I had a problem with learning models, right? Which I should not have, because I actually know SQL really well, right? It's just like, but it was like, oh, it's in the context. Yeah, it's in the context. Yeah, in the context of all that, it's like, wow, my focus is over at, like, I'm juggling Git, right? All this. So, in part, at least for my part, I'm trying to decode that a little bit. It's like, I found some other books basically that started with, look, you're just going to learn you're going to learn Rails first, and before we learn Rails, we're going to teach you Ruby first. Right. So it's just like here's some basic stuff basically with Rails, and it makes sense. It makes better sense, the Rails approach, the Michael Hart approach, and these others. But yeah, the way that we've been kind of doing it here has been, the classes are one unit, and then you go to another one. It's like connection, and we're trying to make it a little bit more coherent and useful, or if it's not in this context. But you've got a great point, actually. I was thinking about that also. It's like just use these 2 hours, because it's a long time, to actually work on a project. You could actually just say, who wants to join in, right, on some project, and then sort of time it to be like, it's going to be about if you perform a project, right? Like an 8-hour project total, or maybe with some homework, basically, and then and then just meet sequentially, and then it's the work group, and then maybe pair up with people basically in order to work it through, and then even maybe charge something to make sure that it's like you don't have just a small amount, a token amount basically to make sure you don't have people that just cash in. It's like people are committed, $10, $15, a lot less than the $17,000 that, right? You know, and then it's like complete Rails project. Well, Rails projects don't look like that. Exactly. Anyway, so. Talk tomorrow. Sorry.
All right, no,
It's his show.
we picked up one more. Welcome. Are you here for RailsSchool?
Yeah, I went to the wrong meeting.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah.
They said in there I was going
That's funny. Yeah, we figured it'd be a small class tonight, but we have a critical mass. So should we go on?
Yeah. So.
Okay, so let's do some intros and then we'll get started. And after intro, I'd actually like to talk about the agenda and see if there's anything in particular that anyone wants to talk about. So, and we have Elise online too. You should be able to. So I'm Brad. I am a RailsSchool teacher. This is my second class teaching. I'm a self-taught Ruby on Rails developer, and now I guess I work at a startup, you could call it, with Dennis. We are building an app to move contribution information from nonprofits and political campaigns into accounting software. So it's a great thing for Rails. And then I have another app that I wrote, which is sort of a database and payment processing application for a local nonprofit. So that's me, and I'm really excited about RailsSchool. I started coming a couple years ago when I was a real kind of new Rails developer and learned a lot from Gabe and the folks and started volunteering. So something we do every Tuesday night. I think we might not have classes at Noisebridge for the next month, though, because they're closing for wiring. So if you guys are electricians or anything, I think they need some electricians. So. Steve, who's having some problems with the connection. But do you want to kick off?
I'm Ken.
Yeah, Ken, and really briefly, if you have any programming background, and if you wanted to get anything out of the class.
Okay, yeah, I am here mainly to learn, and I do have probably 15, 20 years of old school legacy programming background. Cool. And I was out of the industry for like 10, 12 years, and getting back into things have just changed tremendously. So there's so much to learn, and so I'm trying to catch up.
Cool. And I'm sorry, your name again?
Kent.
Kent.
Kent. No, Kent. K-E-N.
Cool. Oh, awesome. Great.
I'm David.
Hi, David. You've been here before.
I've been coding for 6 months. I'm mostly front end, and I need to add more skills to my curriculum. So the back end seems to be a little more complicated than the front end. So I studied 3 months at Coding Dojo, and I'm here to continue studying and be up to date with that.
Cool.
I'm Vance. I've been doing front-end development for about 7 years. I've dabbled back and forth in some back-end development, but it never really stuck, so I'm going to maybe follow through a little bit more this time.
Cool.
I'll be quick. I'm Dennis. I work with Brad. My background is more in the management, entrepreneurial, product management zone. But I've built several complete deployed and sold LAMP stack applications back in the day. My company started getting successful. I exited from them a couple of years back, and like Ken was noticing, things have changed a lot. So a lot of exciting stuff going on. Rails, totally excited, of course, because it's full stack web development and all the practices that go with it serve as a template for almost any other framework that you're looking at nowadays, including all the exciting stuff that's going on in the front end. I'm actually most interested currently in front end because all the movement with Angular, Ember, Backbone, and every other knockout, all the other JavaScript frameworks that have popped